It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a bottle of Omnipollo Agamemnon Imperial Stout brewed with maple syrup, coming in at 12.5% ABV. Isn't that label gorgeous? Look at that. Black cap on this one. The beer's been brewed in America, brewed and bottled by Pub Dog Brewing Company, Westminster, Maryland. Fantastic. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. So we got that American warning on the back of the bottle. Please don't drink while you're pregnant. Omnipollo, of course, at a Swedish brewery who do a lot of gypsy brewing. Well, they do all of their brewing by travelling around the world, hooking up with breweries, borrowing their plant, borrowing their distribution, their bottling lines and whatever, and then just producing beers. How fantastic is that? But more so, how fantastic does that beer look? My goodness. Classic. By now you should know what I'm going to say. Classic Scandinavian style stout. A fantastic looking tan coloured head. It's creamy and chocolatey looking. It's got great lacing on the glass. When you rock that beer back and forth, look at the carbonation chasing that head up the glass, and that means it's going to be a big, thick, storming, juiced up, gloopy Imperial Stout. Jet black in the glass. Let's dive in. Cheers! Oh. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. This is wonderful. The pause there in between stone the crows and wonderful was because the gripping, biting bitterness of all of that roasted malt just comes tearing at you. Mind-blowing stuff. Indeed. When you think of chocolate, the consistency of chocolate is thick. It's a solid if it's cold, but if you held it in your hand for 10 minutes, say a classic chocolate sweet, held it in your hand with toffee in the middle, it's all going to be gloopy and running down your wrist. Same with caramel. You think of caramel, cold, solid, warm, running down your wrist, gloopy, thick. We've all had Caramacs and caramels where they're slightly warm and they're chewy and great stuff. What this beer does, along again, thick coffee, cappuccino style coffees, they're big and thick and gloopy. What happens for me when I experience these flavours, these big rich coffees, chocolates, caramels, raisin, it would be absolutely pointless if it was thin and extremely drinkable and refreshing. This is not this beer. It's not the beer. This is perfect. When I think of, like I just said, chocolate, coffee and caramel, they're all big, thick, gloopy consistencies. And this is the closest you will ever get to that. I've spent a minute or two talking about the mouthfeel and the taste of the mouthfeel because I feel it's so important. So many times I've had Imperial Stouts, they've been thin. It just doesn't do it for me. with the sweetness of the maple syrup is an absolutely fascinating beer. Let me rock this beer around for you. Let me show you the delights of this beer in the glass. Let me rock it back and forth for you so you can see them bubbles rising up the glass. This for me is perfection. Absolute perfection in a glass. So rich and creamy. The flavours are of an Imperial Stout, chocolate, coffee, caramel, cappuccino. It's very vinous. There's vanilla in here, loads of vanilla on the back end. And yeah, nice sweet maple syrup to balance the beer out. There is not a single shred of doubt, can I call it doubt? Or negativity. Negativity would be the better word. There is not a single shred of negativity I can say about this beer. There is nothing at all wrong with it. It is absolutely perfect. At this stage of the review, I'd like to thank my friend Johan in Sweden for sending me such a wonderful, wonderful beer. Thank you, Johan. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of the bottle, or give it to my wife to review. My wife has to review this beer, craft beer lady. But before I go, I'm going to rate it. I went about 18 months without drinking one of these Scandinavian style stouts, Imperial Stouts, and it left a big hole in my reviewing pleasure, if you like, because I instantly fell in love with this style of beer, this big, thicky, gloopy Imperial Stout from Scandinavia. And they all, I've never had a bad one, they've all come up trumps with it. All about the mouthfeel, big, thick mouthfeel. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to be able to have a few bottles of this to get on with and review and drink and enjoy and share with you. If you've not tried a Scandinavian Imperial Stout from Norway, Sweden, Denmark and even Belgium, go and try it right now. If you're looking for something a little bit different, a little bit classy and a little bit special, go and try a Scandinavian Stout, Imperial Stout. 10 out of 10 for this beer. Omnipollo Agamemnon, 10 out of 10. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews and cheers.